I'm going to share some valuable life lessons we can all take away from this dog's hilarious blunder, and I promise it'll make you think twice about your own choices. You know, I'm sure we've all heard the story of the greedy dog at some point in our lives. It's a classic tale that's been passed down for generations, and for good reason. The story goes that a dog is walking along a riverbank when it comes across a juicy bone lying on the ground. Being a bit of a scavenger, the dog quickly snatches up the bone and begins to walk away, feeling quite pleased with itself. As the dog is walking, it notices its own reflection staring back at it in the river. But instead of just seeing itself, the dog sees a reflection of another dog holding a bone that looks even bigger and juicier than the one it's got. Greed takes over, and the dog decides it wants that other bone too. I mean, who wouldn't want more, right? In the dog's mind, having two bones is definitely better than having one. So, it tries to grab the other bone, and that's when things start to go awry. The dog opens its mouth to grab the other bone, but in the process, it ends up dropping the one it was already holding. And to make matters worse, when it tries to grab the other bone, it realizes it was just its own reflection all along. There's no other dog, and there's no other bone. It's just the dog, standing there, looking quite foolish. You can't help but laugh at the dog's misfortune. I mean, who hasn't been guilty of wanting more and losing sight of what's truly important? But as we laugh, let's also take a step back and examine what's really going on here. Greed is a powerful motivator, and it can lead us to make some pretty questionable decisions. In this case, the dog's desire for more led it to lose the very thing it had in the first place. It's a classic tale of being penny-wise and pound-foolish. When we let our desires get the better of us, we can lose sight of what's truly important. We start to focus on the things that we don't have, rather than the things that we do have. And in the process, we can end up losing the very things that bring us joy and fulfillment. Greed can be a destructive force in our lives, and it's something that we need to be constantly on guard against. Whether it's in our relationships, our careers, or our personal goals, greed can lead us down a path of destruction. The dog's mistake is a powerful reminder that sometimes, we need to be content with what we have. We need to appreciate the blessings in our life, rather than constantly striving for more. And it's not just about material possessions either. Greed can also manifest itself in our relationships, where we try to control or manipulate others to get what we want. Or in our careers, where we're constantly striving for the next promotion, the next raise, or the next recognition, without ever stopping to appreciate what we've already achieved. Greed is a constant theme in our society, and it's something that we need to be aware of. It can creep up on us at any moment, and before we know it, we're making decisions that we'll later regret. The dog's mistake is a powerful reminder of the dangers of greed, and it's something that we should all take to heart. Whether we're young or old, rich or poor, greedy or content, we can all learn from the dog's mistake. As we reflect on the dog's story, let's take a step back and examine our own lives. Are we guilty of letting greed get the better of us? Are we constantly striving for more, without ever stopping to appreciate what we have? The dog's mistake is a powerful reminder that sometimes, less is more. Sometimes, it's better to be content with what we have, rather than constantly striving for more. So the next time you find yourself wanting more, take a step back and remember the story of the greedy dog. Remember how it lost sight of what was truly important, and how it ended up losing everything in the process. Let's all learn from the dog's mistake, and strive to be more content, more grateful, and more at peace with what we have. The story of the greedy dog is a powerful reminder that sometimes, we need to take a step back and examine our own desires and motivations. Are we letting greed get the better of us, or are we living a life of contentment and gratitude? What are your thoughts on the story of the greedy dog? Have you ever found yourself in a similar situation, where you let your desires get the better of you? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out our next video on life lessons we can learn from our mistakes.